Yo, what is going on, guys? It is that time of the month again. We're back for another tier list video. So, this is for November, and we're going to be talking about the champs that were released last month, Spot and the Mystic Spider-Man. But before we get into those rankings, I'm going to go over some disclaimers, which is, first and foremost, this is not just my tier list. This is not just my opinion. This is my channel's tier list, and it's all thanks to you guys. We've made so many changes, and I'm really, really happy with where we have the tier list now. I just read there's 286 comments on the previous tier list. Just read through all of them. I made some changes based off that, and some other changes based off some of my own thoughts. Because the tier list is also meant to be what's currently relevant in the contest, the current meta of the contest. And the meta can change. Some champions can be better or worse depending on the direction that the game is going, and Kabam is the one steering that direction. We're just on board and we just have to adapt. And the other disclaimer is that, this is just a tier list. This is a rough guide for, good champs, maybe that you want to rank up, that are good in lots of different areas in the game. But that doesn't mean that a champion in one tier is just better than a champion in lower tier in every single scenario. This game is extremely matchup dependent, and that's only becoming more and more apparent. So it's all about bringing the right counters to the right fight. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, right before we get into it, one last disclaimer is that the colors. So I've decided that whenever we put in a new champion, we're going to go for like this color here. And then if a champion has been moved, we have the orange color. That means we're going to be talking about them today. And also, some of you guys said we should put an up arrow and a down arrow for the orange, signifying if it goes up or down. I don't have down arrows. I couldn't get that on my keyboard. I tried some stuff. I don't know. But this little up sign is perfect. So that just means it was a promotion. And then if it's orange and there's no up sign, that means it was a demotion. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the list. Let's go ahead and start with the new champions, Mystic Spider-Man and Spot. So, Mystic Spidey, he's landing in the Beyonder tier, which is, pretty solid. I don't have the most experience with these two new champions, so I actually put it into my Alliance chat for Loki. Talked to those guys about these characters as well. Got some really good feedback from Karate Mike, who made the deep dives for both these characters. He has a very good opinion on them. And Mystic Spidey is really good. He's an amazing counter to Hulkling, who Hulkling is one of the best cosmic defenders in the entire game, actually. If you don't have a good answer to him, it can just be hell fighting him. And personally, I really, really hate fighting Hulkling. I really do. And this Mystic Spider-Man is a perfect counter to Hulkling, to other champions like him, and he's just really solid. But the thing is, he reminds me a lot of, he's very reminiscent of Symbiote Spider-Man. And what I mean by that is, in the right matchup, he's really, really solid. Really, really solid. But outside of those matchups, he really falls off. So, I really view him as more of a matchup-dependent champion. And champions like that, I just find it hard to put them in the one above all tier. But again, this is only his first month on the tier list, so, things could definitely change depending on what happens with the meta. And, who knows? He could definitely see a promotion one day. But I think this is a really good starting spot for him in the Beyonder tier. Would definitely love to hear some feedback from you guys as well. Do you agree with this placement? Do you disagree? And just tell me why. I'd really appreciate that. So that's Mystic Spidey landing in the Beyonder tier. Now let's go talk about Spot. So, Spot, I really, really like Spot. I think he's really cool. He has some of the best animations, and just, I really love his style. I really hope to pull a Spot, man. I really do. And so with Spot, I feel like he's better overall, than Mystic Spidey. He's not nearly as matchup dependent. He's really good in a lot of different kinds of matchups. And so he's not as matchup dependent. And I was debating on putting Spot in the one above all tier. But again, I feel like that would be a little bit premature. Even Mike said, he thinks second tier is fitting. So we're going to be placing Spot in the Beyonder tier for now. I really do like him. Really hope to pull him from the next feature. That would be such a sick pull. and I'd love to hear more about Spot from you guys. Let me know what you guys think about Spot. Do you think he should go into that one above all tier? Because like I said, I was considering it. But again, this is only his first appearance on the tier list, and placing in Beyonder at release is still really solid. So that's where we place Spot and Mystic Spidey, both landing in the Beyonder tier. Now let's do this properly. Let's go to the top and let's get started with the Mystic Class. So not much change in the Mystic Class. We only had one promotion, and that's Juggernaut. Now I feel like the Mystic Class is really good. I'm really liking where the Mystic Class is right now. I feel pretty confident with most of this. And Juggernaut got a promotion from God tier to the Beyonder tier. Man, let me show you guys something real quick. I don't have Jugs as a 6-star. He's one of my most wanted champs right now. I have seen some really incredible stuff with Jugs in Battlegrounds, especially in some Battlegrounds tournaments. He's just a monster. He's been crushing it, and I've played with Juggernaut, and he is just so much fun. He's so much fun to play, and just such a beast. Really, really solid buff. It feels so good for Kabam to be doing these buffs again, and they actually like land. Like makes a bad champion really fun to play and useful and good. Like it's so satisfying when the buff is really good. So yeah, Toad, or sorry, not Toad. Toad's next. He's on my mind. But yeah, Juggernaut makes it to Beyonder tier. I'm really happy with this promotion. A couple of you guys left some comments about Jugs as well, so I think it is warranted. Let me know what you guys think about that one. But let's go ahead and move on to the Mutant Class now. There's not much change here either, just one, and that's Toad. Like that's why I said his name a little bit premature there. There's actually, I'd say, the most amount of comments for Toad. I'd say he was probably the most requested promotion from the previous tier list video, and it was great because after like I read one comment about Toad, and I was looking at the Mutant Class. I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. I think actually, yeah, there was one comment about Toad, and then there was people that replied in like the comment thread, just agreeing with him, like 2 or 3 other people agreeing with his comment, and I was just like, yeah, I agree with all of you guys. Yeah, hell yeah. So we did the promotion, and then as I kept reading through the rest of the 286 comments, there's just more and more and more people asking for Toad, and I was like, I responded to something like, yep, already done. Like, yeah. So Toad is a beast. He's really solid in Battlegrounds, mainly as a defender. I view him mainly as a defender, but he is still really solid on attack. He has a really good slow on his special too. And he is incredible for fighting against Nick Furies. I took a Nick Fury with him not too long ago and canceled out that second life. It's incredible. He has some nice regen as well, some good prowess, so he can actually hit fairly hard. Got the poisons. So yeah, I think Toad, I should have done this sooner, but glad to have him in the Beyonder tier now. And yeah, I think the Mutant Class is also looking pretty good. I find it funny. I saw a couple comments about White Magneto. It's always polarizing. It's either, oh yeah, man, totally agree with you. White Magneto, he's awesome. I have him ranked up, yada, yada. And then I see other comments, White Magneto needs a demotion. And I'm just like, so polarizing. But I really like White Magneto here. I think of him as, a little bit of a lesser version of Red Magneto, but still really, really solid. And guidance is insane. And I would say that White Magneto is better than Red Magneto outside of the metal matchups, which doesn't matter a ton because why are you using Magneto if they're not metal? But just saying. But yeah, not much change in the Mutant Class. Let's go ahead and move on to Science. Science is the most changes. Holy smokes, where to even begin? Okay, let's begin here with Wasp. So as you see, there's no upwards pointing arrow, so that means this was a demotion. We promoted Wasp to God tier, and it just wasn't really sitting well with me. I was looking at her, and I was looking at the other champs, and there I'm just like, no, I really don't feel that way. So I decided to demote Wasp to Demigod. And we also had some more demotions with Miles and Spider-Gwen. So I put both the champions in the Beyonder tier, and I let that stew for a while. And there was some comments being like, oh yeah, I like that. But I'd say there was definitely more being like, why is Spider-Gwen there? Why is Miles there? And they can do some cool stuff, You know, Miles is a really great unblock. They're both great unblockable counters, actually. One through evade, one through miss. But I really don't see them being used on attack nearly as much as any of these other champions. Like, not even close. Not even close. And yeah, it just didn't feel right. So I decided to demote them back down to God tier. But that's what I really like about this tier list. You know, we update it monthly. Things can change. We can make a promotion one month and make a demotion the next month. It can happen. So that's what I decided to do. And that's not to say they could never go back up. Who knows? But for now, I think this feels a lot better. I think this is a good spot for them. And then I actually made a really big mistake on the previous tier list. I just totally forgot about Ant-Man. I just totally forgot. I left a pinned comment asking about some thoughts on Ant-Man, but not everyone saw that. But yeah, so we promoted Ant-Man from the buffable tier all the way to God tier, which is not too bad. He jumped up 2 tiers. I think the Ant-Man buff was pretty good. I think the problem is there was just, backlash with the changing to the synergies and everything. But personally, if I had to choose between the old Ant-Man's abilities with the synergies intact or this new Ant-Man buffed version without those synergies, like, it's the easiest decision ever. I would much rather have the newly buffed champ. I don't want a champion that is reliant on synergies or a whole synergy team to do something. No, I don't give an F about that, bro. Like, what? No, I don't. I personally, I'm speaking for myself here. I never went into Labyrinth with a full Ant-Man team and had fun. No, I mean, that would maybe be cool for one video, but I would never do it again. I'd never want to do it again. No. Now Ant-Man is actually viable. He's actually good now. He has buff immunity, which is really solid. He can basically have his poisons active forever. Like, I really think the Ant-Man buff was solid. Really solid, actually, man. Honestly, I was even considering putting Ant-Man in the Beyonder tier. So, yeah, gonna leave him in the God tier for now. Would really like to hear what your guys' thoughts on Ant-Man. Do you think he's good here? You think he should go up? You think he should go down? Let me know why in the comment section. But yeah, honestly, I'm a big fan of Ant-Man, and I really hate synergy reliance. I really have tried to keep this tier list to not have much to do with synergies. Because I just don't like champions that rely on synergies. But if a synergy is something truly special, it truly changed the champion, it's truly worth bringing, then I think it's worth writing down. That's kind of my prerequisite for actually including a synergy or, upgrading a champion for a synergy. Like, it has to actually be worth it. Like, people actually have to be, ranking this champ up, bringing that synergy and using it. Or else, like, oh yeah, the champ gets a little bit better with the synergy, but you're never going to use it. Like, it has to be warranted. Then we had 2 rank ups from the God tier to the Beyonder tier, and that is Red Hulk. Shout out to you, Clown. This is for you, buddy. And then Titania. Had a couple comments talking about Titania. I put her in the God tier for her first introduction to the tier list, and I think that was smart. And I think she does deserve the Beyonder tier. But as you see in brackets here, we have Skilled Hands. She's definitely a champion that can do a lot more things in the right hands, similar to like Kitty Pryde and Tigra. These champions that are really good and can just be taken to a whole new level in the right hands. I think Titania definitely is like that. And then we had a really fun rank up. That's Thing. So Thing, he's been demoted, re-promoted, and then re-promoted again. He's been going through all the tiers, man. So Thing is now in the one above all tier. Now, why is that? Incursions is a big one. I recently did a push to Zone 25, and Thing, by far, was my absolute MVP. He is just an incursion monster. Definitely one of the absolute best champions for the incursions. I'd say it's like him and Hercules are the 2 best. Yeah. Like, Thing is just absolutely incredible in there. Plus, Thing on his own, he is still a really good champion. It's just, you want to bring him to the right areas. What are the right areas? Anywhere that's going to be triggering his protection often, he cheeses the crap out of it. Anywhere that you need, nullify immunity, bleed immunity, shock immunity, armor break immunity. Like, he is just an immunity machine. He introduced a lot of these immunities actually to the contest. He's a pioneer immunity champion. And so, yeah, he's honestly probably one of the most unique champs in the whole game. And you really got to put some respect on his name. And with incursions, I can finally justify putting Thing here. So, yeah, that's that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the tech class. We got a couple changes here. So we got a Red Skull promotion from the buffable tier to the demigod tier. That's fair. I don't think Red Skull's garbage. You know, I remember watching Brian Grant use his Red Skull for his itemless 6.2 push. I remember he was like fighting this Havoc with Red Skull. He was fighting him many times. And it was working. You know, Red Skull's not totally garbage. He's not the best, but he's okay. And then we have a Penny Parker promotion. So Penny went from Beyond her tier to the one above all tier. Penny is probably... no, I can't say that. She's definitely one of the best like hybrid champs in the game, which just means, you know, really good on attack and defense. Like, it is insane. Penny Parker, easily one of the best defenders in the whole game. I'd say top three best defenders in the whole game. Penny Parker, and she's so good on attack. I've been using her more and more on attack lately, especially in Battlegrounds. Man, I fought a man thing with her. I fought this domino with her, and she just did such an incredible job. She's so good. I finally see the hype about her on offense. I finally see it. I've finally been enlightened, and yeah, I think she definitely deserves this tier. And then we have an interesting one, Rocket Raccoon. So I have not even played the buffed version of Rocket Raccoon yet, but just off reading his abilities alone, I think this promotion is warranted. And again, that's the great thing about this tier list. If it's not warranted, you know, next month we can demote him. But this is a little bit more of a prediction, but I'm pretty confident in it, and I think Rocket Raccoon is just going to be an absolute monster. It's going to be an absolute monster. Right now he hits pretty hard. He hits fairly hard, and after his buff, he's still going to be hitting hard, if not harder. Plus, he's going to have way more utility. He's going to have access to one of the best heal blocks in the game. Plus, he can punish healing. It's going to be power draining. So, yeah, this is a bit of a prediction promotion, but I think it's warranted, and I think it's going to pay off in the long run. So that's the tech class. Now let's go ahead and move on to the skill class. Only one promotion here, actually, and that is Crossbones. So we promoted Crossbones from the Beyonder tier to the one above all tier, and this one is shout out to Karate Mike. All thanks to him. When we faced each other in Battlegrounds, he destroyed me with his Crossbones. Every time I tried to go up against his Crossbones, he beat me. And one time we had a mirror match. We were both taking Thing. I had Hitmonkey, he had Crossbones, and I was feeling fairly confident. He smoked me. So I think I've been sleeping on Crossbones a little bit. I know Karate Mike has been high on him for quite a while, and after literally facing his Crossbones myself, I can see it now. Again, I've been enlightened to the power of Crossbones. So he makes it into the one above all tier. I would say maybe I'll have to put in brackets here High Sig. I think that is warranted. My Crossbones is unawakened, but so I don't use him nearly as much. But yeah, High Sig on Crossbones is warranted. And I just wanted to talk about Blade a little bit. I think Blade's absolutely incredible. I've recently taken him to rank 4, and I absolutely do not regret it. He has been crushing it. One of the best regens in the entire game. And what I really like about Blade is, you know, at his base, he's really good for... He counters dimensional beings. And, you know, for the past couple years, again, with the meta, Blade hasn't been super relevant. And he wasn't available as a 6-star for quite a while, too. But then, with Blade becoming available as a 6-star, of course, that makes him a lot more relevant. And then, Kabam started making more dimensional being tagged champions. A couple examples of these, America Chavez, Spot, Gallon, a bunch of these new champs, man, are dimensional beings. And Gallon specifically, Gallon, I feel like there's going to be a piece of content where there's going to be just a ridiculous Gallon boss. And when that day comes, I'm going to have my rank 4 blade, and I'm going to be prepared. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I just love that. So that's what Blade does at his base. And that is fantastic. And the cool thing about Blade is he has really amazing synergies to just, you know, open up his what he counters even more. You know, you can open it up with Ghost Rider synergy. Any champion tagged as a villain, boom, now Blade gets Danger Sense. He lowers their ability accuracy, he gets more attack. Fantastic. Boom, with the Mephisto or the Dormammu synergy, you can counter the entire Mystic class. You know, Blade was one of the best Mystic killers before Human Torch actually came out with that synergy. So, yeah, man, I really love Blade. Really, really happy that I took him to rank 4, and I do not regret it at all. So, yeah, really happy with that rank up and, you know, this promotion. And I'm very, very confident in it as well. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the final class, the Cosmic class. Not much has changed here either. Only one promotion, actually, and that is the Champion with the Titania synergy. It basically, when the Champion came out, he basically, against the god tiers of that time, whenever he would be fighting those champions, he would gain his bonuses like a lot faster. And now with this Titania synergy, I believe it brings that bonus to just whoever he's fighting. So that's huge. That's a really big synergy for the Champion. And of course, if you guys want to see some gameplay, my boy Swadia, go check out his channel. He's got some wonderful Champion gameplay. It's really great that someone is finally seeing the power of the Champion. I've always liked the Champion. If you guys go back on my channel quite a while back, you'll see a video where I fought the Grand Master with the Champion. That's probably my favorite solo that I ever did on him. And it was so much fun. It was so much regen. I finished the fight with full health. And the Champion, when he fights the boss node, it's incredible. And I've always liked the Champion. And I'm really glad Swadia is showing how powerful he actually can be. And yeah, so I think that's going to do it for, that's all the promotions, all the changes. The only other thing I want to talk about, guys, is I think for the next tier list, we're going to add some tiers. Because currently we only have 5 tiers, and it's like some champions are, I want to separate them more, but I just can't with 5 tiers. So I think we are going to go for definitely another tier, something. I don't know what to put above the one above all tier, but I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I definitely need another tier. I need another tier because when I first made this format of the tier list, there's only supposed to be 1 champion in each of these tiers. But as more and more good champions come out, it's so hard to not include them. So for the next tier list, I think some big things are going to change. Not sure yet. If you guys have any ideas, spitball down in the comment section down below. But yeah, that is going to do it for this tier list video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I really do love making these videos every single month, and I love how much you guys enjoy watching them and how much you support them. It really means a lot, and it really makes me want to keep doing them every single month. I love how much you guys comment and help me make it better, and yeah, I really enjoy it. So that's going to do it for this video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Another tier list every single month. That is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Peace out, guys.